Hey everyone, it's Leanne with Paper Heart Scissors, and today we are going to make 3 cards with 3 quick tips from the November Simon Says Stamp Card Kit. So you can see some of the parts and pieces here. That's the stamp set, really nice. I love the So Incredibly Grateful for All of My Blessings stamp. I took out some of the Simon Says stamp die inks and the colors that match the papers, and those are some of the chips, and I wanted to customize them a little bit. So one of the things that I did right away was I took some of that gold mica paint and I painted over the chips just to make them look a little less like they were a pre-made thing and something that was a little more unique. And again, so I pulled orange peel, willow, dark chocolate, and cloudy sky out just to have those out. This is kind of my process of when I get a new card kit, what I do. And then they included some really nice A2 folding cards, so we're going to use those. And I loved that bright orange cardstock. So the first card that I decided to make, I thought I would use some of the leaf stamps that were in the set and actually do a little collage and create a strip of color on the card. And you know, just a lot of fun. Make sure you start with the lightest color first so that when you get to the darks, it's easier to clean your stamps. And you know, have some fun with this. You really can position them anywhere. Use the rule of odd numbers. If you use even numbers, it draws people's eyes to the wrong place, to try to keep the numbers of all of the things mixed up. And then I should have done this first, but I wanted to add some other texture. And so I used the fall leaves stamp and I did color on color with that orange ink onto the orange cardstock. And then quickly embossed the sentiment and those 2 borders on a piece of vellum and mounted that. And that's really the first card. Very easy to do. I needed quick cards that I could kind of send out for the kindness challenge. So now this one's even easier. You could really choose any piece of pattern paper. I'm going to make a vellum fold over. And literally I cut the paper to the full size of the card front. And you can do this with any of the pattern papers that you like. And I'm going to emboss that sentiment on the front of the vellum. And then what's great about this is that once it's embossed, you're going to glue the edges onto the back side of the paper, which you're going to mount, so nobody will see your adhesive, and it keeps it really nice and flat. So you can see how that's set up there. I'm going to show you. I'm going to take it off, and I'm actually going to add the adhesive to the back of that pattern paper, press it down. I ended up going with the rustic wood. I really like that blue. But again, you could really use almost anything that you liked. And then I'm attaching the mica colored chip to the front of that with just some really nice twine. And I added a little embellishment on top of the bow in the end as well. Just something copper, or you could find something gold that was pretty, a little gold heart or anything. Even a bell could be nice. So that's card number 2. And then for card number 3, I really love that sentiment, and I wanted to do some watercoloring, and I did an experiment here, and I want to share this with you. I'm going to actually, I'll extend this and do this in a longer form in a shorter, quicker little video just about this, but I wanted to show you guys the difference between the Gonzi Tombow watercolors, which I used on the left-hand side, and how they work with the resisted sentiment. And on the right-hand side, I'm going to use distress ink, and then I'm going to show you. And one of the things that I found is I love the color of the Gonzi watercolors, but they're very heavy in the pigment. So what that means was, in this instance, they're not as sheer, and they actually don't resist as well. The pigment sits on top of the embossing powder and it does not resist the embossing powder as well. So you see that I added a lot more water, and then I actually went in and I blotted a little bit. I added more water to kind of lighten up the pigment. But then even after it dried, it doesn't wipe off very well. So now you're going to see the example on the right with the distress ink. And I've got fossilized amber and spiced marmalade and I think persimmon, right? Persimmon there. And I'm putting the fossilized amber in, and you see almost automatically the difference that the resist ink, the resist with the distress ink, it really drops away, and you get this very crisp. You can kind of see the comparison already, how different that is. I mean, up in the left-hand corner, I've almost lost so underneath that Gonzai pigment, whereas with the distress ink, it's really flowing, moving around beautifully, and very sheer. I guess that's the word. It's much more sheer. So I'm going to show you up close. After it's dry and I even wipe them off, it was just much less white and sheer looking. And I'll show you in another video. So if you're really interested in that comparison, I'll try to do that today and get that up on the site. But again, this one was very simple. I actually stamped a couple of leaves and did a little bit of zig watercolor on top to just kind of make them a little bit richer and layer them. And then I added another one on the top card up, you can see up in the top corner there, I added another bit of those cut out chips with a bow and a little copper embellishment in the center of the bow, and that one's on craft. This one is on that dark chocolate cardstock that came in the card kit. And I'm just softening up those leaves on the back, and with a little bit of Wink of Stella, so they're a little bit shiny. And that actually works beautifully with the zig too. It will move the color around a little bit. So you can see there's one of those embellishments there. I just put down on the page. It's a little brass. I think it's from, oh boy, I don't want to say because it's probably going to be wrong. It was part of my stash, and I've had them for a while. I'll see if I can find something to link below that's similar. And then I tied on one little teeny piece that I fussy cut out of those chips again that had been coated in the mica, and then added the embellishment there. So I used a little glossy accents to secure the embellishment in the bow in the place that I wanted, but you could use Ranger Multimedia Matte. These are the 3 final cards made with the November Simon Says Stamp Card Kit. And I hope you enjoyed the 3 quick cards today and were inspired. Please visit my blog at paperheartscissors.com and subscribe for more fun videos. Enjoy, you guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.